So why is Esther trying to come for Ramla with such nonsense points that make no pragmatic sense? Why is Max being so ignorant? He's being completely offensive, not just to homosexuals, but also to people of Islam as well, by saying that it's not the word of God. People don't know how to construct their points, and it has pissed me off to the point where I'm vexed. Esther and Max have pissed me off. I am done.
I know, because you keep attacking me. You guys are like, I'm going to take my child back home and I'm going to slaughter him. No, that's my child. I carried him for 9 months, just like any other person.
You are telling them, people that you have never met, people that you have met for the first time in your life, you're sitting there telling them it's a choice. Who the fuck are you to be telling anyone anything?
Hey guys, it's Murad, Merali. Hope you guys are all doing well today. So we got another, listen, I don't know what's going on here. I had to slap something on because I'm you know, sometimes the 1-2 button today is nothing. It's all out. I'm done. People have really pissed me off. I'm going to go into it bit by bit, and best believe this is going to probably be my longest review for this entire franchise and this entire program yet. Now, I need to just breathe. I need to just calm down. You know, first and foremost, a bit of apologies for the different, you know, background. I've got a friend living in the room that I normally film in, so due to unfortunate circumstances, I'm going to do this video here. It was either do the video now for you guys, or this video would have been released on a Friday. And I know you guys want my review videos to be ASAP because I've already got messages flooding from people saying, "Where's your review?" I'm refreshing the pages. Where's this? Where's that? And I'm not going to keep you guys waiting for long because it can be quite irritating because you have subscribed for me for a reason. So therefore, I need to deliver and deliver ASAP. First, we're going to start with 2 characters, and that's Max and that's Azryah.
So you do every single thing that's in the Bible, man.
She's convenient.
You make things that convenient for you as well. Are you listening to what you're saying? Whatever, man.
You must be waved. Yeah, you must be waved to ever raise your voice like that. You better chill.
Max on the show came across as very ignorant, at the same time very truthful. He stuck to his guns. I appreciate it to an extent. However, there's a way to do it, and the way that he was doing was very offensive, very rude. It was disgusting, callous, and I'm not here for it. You cannot simply say to 2 particular people that they are wrong. It's a choice when you are not them. You cannot apply your thought to somebody else when you are not them. It does not make any pragmatic, clerical sense at all. What are you doing? You are a clown. The way you were speaking, 27 chromosomes, 12 commandments. What's going on, Max? Because I'm really trying to find out. The way you were just completely degrading people. That's how it came across, that you were degrading them. Yes, you're entitled to your opinion. It's about one key essential thing, and that is called deliverance. You need to know how to deliver your opinion to the point where you would not offend any other people. Otherwise, it's going to turn something heated. And that's exactly what he did. He was a bit ignorant, a bit arrogant, constantly cutting off Benjamin, and obviously Benjamin did the same thing. We're going to get to Benjamin later on.
Being gay, not being natural and stuff, yeah,
It's
but
not natural.
yeah. That's your opinion.
Please,
I respect
please.
your opinion.
I respect what
Are
you're
you
saying.
God?
I didn't say
Are
nothing.
you God that it's not natural? Are you God that you're telling me that it's not natural?
I'm tired. This was the episode that really pissed me off when it comes to Max, because it's all about deliverance. He was not delivering his opinion. He was very quick to jump the bandwagon and blame other religions for everything else. And this is where Azryah comes in. Now, Azryah shined through.
And knowing what you know about what you know based on what you believe, and then applying that to another individual's life. Too many people do that, and that is why there is so much hostility and there is so much tension, because no one is actually trying to listen.
She was the beacon of light in this episode, and let me tell you something, if she was not in this episode, things would have gone far worse. She was able to maintain conversations, maintain the fact that people shouldn't get elevated, able to retain people from getting a bit too upset, and able to allow a cloud of morality over the entire discussion that we have had today. She kept on counteracting Max's every point, which is what we needed, because a lot of people weren't doing so without anger. Azryah wasn't doing it with anger. She was using a bit of thought, and then it came to the point where Max was being so delirious. He think he could jump and, you know, be on top of everyone and be up high and be this and be that. And Azryah was like, no, that's not how it's going to happen. And she said, who the F are you? And I was like, Azryah, you better preach, because in this entire season, Azryah has taken a backseat overall. I guess that's because other characters have come in, have outshined her, and we're looking for new people, new characters, new personalities. But in this episode, she dragged everything back, and she took it, and she was literally shining throughout this entire episode. So hats off to you, Azryah, because you did that. You did the best thing that you could, and I'm happy. I'm very happy. And then we have, you know, I'm glad they incorporated 2 members that are of the gay community. It does make sense. I have more depth, substance that I really reflected in my entire review. However, at the same time, I feel like although Benjamin was taking up to his points, he was coming quite defensive. You know, it's very hard. It's very, very, very hard to not get upset, not get ignorant, not get annoyed when somebody is in your ear saying the complete opposite to you. It is very hard. Therefore, patience and tolerance is definitely required. And at times, Benjamin's getting quite irritated. Who wouldn't, with Max in the corner talking nonsense? Well, for me personally, I think it's nonsense, but obviously it applies to him and his values and opinions. But his deliverance was nonsense, and it was quite annoying to see the fact that Benjamin was getting frustrated, but then again, who wouldn't? Overall, I did like Nessa. I feel like she was a great character on the show.
Like, wanting to keep her image, whereas Max was just going to say, yeah, like, I don't think it's right. And I kind of respect him for that, because I feel like he's true to his religion.
She talked about how sins can be elevated at different levels, and that's not fair. She also talked about how Max is being truthful. I feel like it was very big of her to say that, considering that everything that he said was against her. Yet she took that pedestal, rose above it, and that is what a real adult is, a replication of a real, mature adult, where you would appreciate somebody's thoughts even though they are completely against yours. So when Nessa said that at the end, I was like, bravo, because you got some guts. Like, honestly, you came through. But we're going to get into this whole Ramla and Esther situation that really just, unfortunately, highlighted the entire show. I don't know why everybody was coming for Ramla, and it got me very pissed off.
I said, I'm not a Muslim, there's no marriage. Which part of that do you not understand?
What if your child says that the child doesn't want to be Muslim, wants to be Christian? Do you disown the child then?
No, he's still my child.
So is you're picking when it's convenient to you?
It got me very irritated. How can you compare a marriage where somebody does not want to be the same religion as you to having a child that is particularly gay? It's not, you can't do anything. It's not your power, it's not your choice. How are you comparing the two? Esther's bringing out situations. Oh, you said this in this episode.
The previous episode, this is quite interesting. In a previous episode, when we discussed about religion, your man wanting to go.
Well, Esther, we can open a diary of the nonsense things that you said in this entire saga. You can't even pronounce words. Masculinity, specifically, you can't even pronounce these two words. You're no shade on TV. When you're talking about the whole story of Selfridges, everybody was like, when is this girl gonna shut up?
That I grew up in, but he was gay. Do you understand? He was actually battling with his sexuality at the time. So he hadn't told his family that you could see him work, that he was really himself, but when he used to go home, he was somebody else. So I used to say to him, like, I used to ask questions like, why are you happening? I was like raw, like I was around people who were just like him. Gay people, lesbians, has made me more open-minded. I know everyone's trying to be careful, but I'm being...
Because I was waiting for, you're waiting for a quick 1 minute story, the middle, the beginning, the end, the plot line, the moral of the story. There was no more. This girl was just waffling. She was just talking for no reason. And, she was very quick. And Max jumped on this bandwagon very quick to come to Ramla, constantly seeing people, because she's a Muslim and Islam is probably the most strictest religion, see her as perfection. If she doesn't follow it, she's so bad, she's so awful, as if we're all made to be perfect, which we're clearly not. Everybody jumped on her, and I'm glad Ramla defended herself, because Esther was talking nonsense. This girl was not making any sense. How can you compare the two when they're simply incomparable? Where does it say in Islam that you would have to take away and abandon somebody because of their gay? Where does it say that? Where does it say you have to just throw away your child? Doesn't it show you love? Where does it say in any Abrahamic religion, whether you're a Muslim or Jew or Christian, that homosexuality is completely forbidden in terms of the fact that you will go to hell for it? There's a difference in act, there's a difference in being, very big difference. In terms of being, your thoughts, whatever your desires inside you, is whatever you feel, it's not a sin. That's what we believe in Islam. It's not a sin. The act is the sin. The being is not the sin. Very big difference that I feel like wasn't really highlighted. Ramla tried to get it across, but people were very quick to jump on it for no reason. Azryah was right. She was the moral beacon, the moral voice that people really get heated. We're not discussing. We're not talking properly. And it really pissed me off. Like, who is Esther? Because I'm really trying to find out. Who is this girl? Because the only things that she's been doing is attempting to relate everything to herself and being a DJ. That's it. I said this ages ago and I'm going to say it again. Esther is the fool of the show. She always has been. The story about Selfridges, I lost interest. She was just talking for too much. She got too much airtime. The scene should have just cut off because I was tired. I was sleeping. I was sleep jump off. And normally I don't do my reading in this area and I just have the night, but I just had to just do it because there's so many things I have to just get off my chest because it really has annoyed me. I don't understand how they came for Ramla. If I was there, I would have supported Ramla's points because, how can you make the difference between the two? And inviting someone who's homosexual into your house, how is that haram? How is that forbidden? Do you not know the importance of guests in Islam? The importance of guests is so important that if I came to, for example, Susan's house, Susan's my friend, and she's invited me to her house, I'm her guest. Now, if she cooks me pork, if she cooks me anything that's haram, gives me alcohol, I don't know what it is, I can't say to her, is this pork or is this alcohol? I have to eat it, regardless of the pork or alcohol, any haram food. If I don't know if it's haram and it's just there for me, I have to eat it. Because if I ask her what it is a rude act of somebody who is a guest. I'm not behaving well as a standard as a guest. Therefore, I'd have to eat the food and then ask afterwards. That's how important being a guest is in a particular family household, that there are rules like this. That is one of the two only examples where you can eat haram food. The other example is if you're dying and there's only haram food left, you have to eat it. When it comes to particular, if you're going to Susan's house and she's cooked you all this food, put on this effort, and then you go to her house as a guest to say, what is this? I can't eat it. That is so rude. You have to eat the food, regardless of whatever you think it is, and then ask afterwards. That's how important the role of guests are in Islam. And I felt like Ramla tried to get these points across, but she was being bombarded by everyone, and it was truly disgusting. The reason why I'm pissed off about this more than anything is because it came out of nowhere. Esther decided to open her mouth, her teeth, her nonsense, and just constantly just come for someone saying, you said this in this episode. Who are you to be saying you said this? Are you CIA? Are you FBI? Are you government agency? Or are you not the girl that always talking and stuttering and just talking nonsense from your mouth since day one? Like, I'm actually fuming, like I'm vexed, because this episode really got to me to the point where I'm fucking topless. Who's topless when they do the videos? No one. I'm like, I look like a fool. Esther and Max need to be removed from the show. Because it's not really about your opinions. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, but it's about deliverance. And they're not making any form of deliverance, any form of pragmatic, structural sense in what they're saying. Now, let's get back to the subject of the matter. Yes, there can be an influence of your environment to any certain degree. Yes, it is. But I also feel like it's just within. It just happens. It is what it is. It is. If that's you, that's you. If that's not, it is. Me, personally, I can't judge anyone for being. Who am I to judge? Like, if I'm judging someone, if I'm looking down below someone, if I'm in a mosque and somebody who's a lesbian or who's gay, whoever comes and prays, who am I to look at them and think, oh, you're below me, you're going to hell? Who am I? Please, because I'm stinking. You know what I'm stinking of? I'm stinking of pride. That's what I'm thinking of. If I'm thinking like this, it's impossible. You can't have any pride. You can't have anything in you like this. And the whole idea of Max saying you can't hang around with people who are not of your religion. Well, we don't just follow the Quran, we follow the Hadiths, and we follow the life of the Prophet Muhammad, who spent many of his years being very helpful, being courteous to Jews, to Christians, etc., etc. There was also a particular story where there was a person who confessed to the Prophet about how he used to dig up graves. He used to dig up people in the graves and use them for whatever reason. The Prophet just didn't know how to handle this, and he cried and cried. This is the story, but he was forgiven. The story is about prostitutes who were granted access to heaven because of their kindness to animals and to dogs and giving water to them. And they were prostitutes, but they were given access to heaven. At the end of the day, we cannot look at people and say, you're going to hell because you're this, or you're that, or you're this. We cannot. Who are we to condemn other people? How can we expect the Lord to show mercy on us if we're not showing mercy on other people, if we're not being kind to other people? I don't understand. So this whole idea of Max being first in line, front row to say you're wrong, you're unnatural, this is not the word of God, you're going to hell, you're going to this pedestal that he is on is absolutely barbaric. He is drunk. His lips are shaking. He's talking nonsense. We also have this whole idea of Riva and Esther. They have a very small altercation, which I find quite interesting. I didn't think Riva would really go there, but it really shows the extent to what she really believes in.
Trying to be careful, Esther. We are
not like that. But I'm just saying. I feel like people are just, people are treading carefully.
You can't decide that. If that's what their point, that's their point.
Regardless of people who might be superior in the audience, because sometimes people, Lucas and Esther, etc., people normally follow them, and it is what it is. So hats off to Riva for sticking to her guns. Now let's get into Benjamin. I kind of like Benjamin because he was being quite good. He just stuck to his guns. He was not falling prey to the social influence of the group or swaying his ideas. He was really sticking to what he believes in. He got quite irritated, which I can't really blame him for because it's quite hard to in that environment. It's very small, it's toxic, it happens, we're human, we're not perfect. However, it would have been nice for him to be a bit more tolerated. Now we have Biscuit asking such ridiculous questions about the whole idea of why are you attracted to a man, but then why are you attracted to a woman? It doesn't make sense.
I'm asking, what attracts you to
what
a
is
man?
it about
What about a man that
what is it
attracts
about
you?
men?
I said I like men.
But what is it?
I like men. I like men.
You're asking silly questions. What are men attracted to men for? Well, I think you know that, Biscuit, unless you're 5. What's going on? I told you, this Yemen mentality that you have is still present, alive. It's just still there. And you're asking questions that you don't need to ask. I said this before. He speaks before he thinks. He needs to think properly. Why does a man like another man? What would be the features? What will be the features? Like, come off it. Really come off it, please. What will be the features? The eyes, like men will like ladies' eyes. Or, the body, like, come off it. What kind of question is this? And I like the way Adrian had to quickly settle him. And this whole idea, hold on. I haven't even gotten this altercation. Let's get into this whole, listen. This show is stressing me, man. This show is actually stressing me. So many illiterate nonsense people on the show making such barbaric comments. Then we have this whole idea of, the beard's on fleek though. Like, the beard's on fleek. At least something's going right today. Biscuit and Adrian having this altercation. Why are you so concerned with him doing this? Why are you so concerned with that?
That being an entity.
What's that about?
No, but I'm saying I don't understand what he finds attractive to another man has got to do with this question.
That's what I want to know. I want to understand it.
Why are you so concerned with that? And then you got very defensive when Adrian said you might be attacking him. It can be seen like because you have more people on one. And Biscuit getting all upset, all emotional, all this adrenaline, all this aggressiveness. Like relax yourself, Biscuit, because you don't need to be angry at Adrian doing this because you're clearly threatened by him or his presence or his points in some form or way. You have to be. You must know that Adrian's points have influence, and therefore you're trying to amalgamate and stop any form of pragmatic point that Adrian is attempting to make that might have some clerical sense because you're getting upset, therefore it means you're kind of threatened by it, which is very interesting. Biscuit, this kind of mentality is coming through. I made a video ages ago and a lot of people saw it about how Esther was a fool of the show. Yeah, that mentality, Biscuit. Now with the end of season 2, nothing's changed. No progression, people. Absolutely ridiculous. You would think people would grow in some form or manner on being in the show, being constantly judged. No, they don't.
I'm confused. What kind of question is this? What are you attracted to in men? Why do you need to know that?
You can choose to be gay.
So
when did it come out?
You can choose to be gay?
Yes, I have decisions to be gay or straight.
I don't want to hear that. Like
Lucas taking a bit of a back stance. Where's the alpha male gone now? Like it's because your job might be on the line. Because a couple of episodes ago you were onto Adrian like no one, ready to be active in his face. But when it comes to topics like this, you're moving like a mouse. I liked how he really attempted to understand other people and their points, and you know he agreed with Max, he agreed with Benjamin that he attempted to understand them what they were saying from a particular point. So I kind of liked the way he was doing that. It was really, you know, it was quite good. Max and Azryah argue a lot, get to the point where Azryah is just, you know, she just goes into a fit of anger because there's just so much nonsense going on that is the only normal reaction that you can have. So I kind of felt sorry for Azryah because she was kind of making sense there. And hats off to these people shone for me. These people were shining for me on the show. Azryah, Nessa, Adrian, and Ramla, because I feel like Ramla got very difficult. She got attacked again in that show. I didn't like it. Adrian got attacked again for no reason. Max was making very ignorant comments, and the way he was delivering them as if he doesn't care, throwing people away, throwing the holiday of Islam away. When I make points, you come against me, but when she does it about the Quran, you don't get against. Why are you comparing religions for? Like, I don't know what kind of relevance that has. And Max says, well, to Azryah, don't you dare shout at me. Like, who are you to say that? You're making ignorant comments to harming people, and you say, don't shout at me. Who are you, Max? I'm really trying to find out. Max and Esther, I've had enough. I've just had enough of these two. Esther's always talking some nonsense, some long, unnecessary, not needed, you know, story. And then when Benjamin talked about his bad background, Esther just had to relate to her. When she said that, I fully paused and I just walked off. I'm thinking, really? You're relating to another story? Let people tell their story. It's not every day relate yours all the time, because it's just annoying. I felt like there was definitely a form of degradation. It was a very strong theme in this particular episode. A lot of degradation, a lot of accusations without people actually realising how other people feel. And what I've finally realised is that as viewers, I think we just simply expect way too much from people. We expect way too much from these individuals. So hats off to Bkchat again for this episode. You know, another point that I want to add is we have Max, you know, relating homosexuality to a particular mental disorder to an extent by saying that it's in a mental state. What being heterosexual is also a mental state then, so what's the difference? Yet again, incompatible. Lack of pragmatic, clerical sense. Again, 12th commandment, 27 chromosomes. You know, saying to Azryah, you have no right to shout at me when you're being clearly offensive to other people.
I feel like everyone is trying to prove the other party wrong. For the majority of this conversation, we have been at each other's throats. We've been arguing. It hasn't been a cool, calm, where we're open and we're almost like we're trying to prove our point. And
without showing, you know, a form of kindness, there's a deliverance in where you speak and you had no awareness of people's feelings. I said this in my teaser and it came through. I talked about how Esther was talking and it came through. In my opinion, I feel like Esther and Max need to leave. These two are just, Max is just, I don't know, these two black and white, and you know, having your opinion is fine, but please be aware of everybody else's considerations of their opinions. That's what debate is about as well. Not just about forcing your opinion down someone's throat. It's also about having your opinion, explaining where you're from, allow other people to do it as well. And I feel like he was just a bit too ignorant. Yes, truthful, hats off to you, but there's a way of deliverance, and his deliverance was absolutely poor. Everybody sins in so many different ways, but when homosexuality is brought up, everybody wants to just become a pastor, an imam, and bring out all these scriptures. But when it comes to sex before marriage, when it comes to drinking alcohol, which the Bible says you can't drink alcohol, the Bible says don't eat pig, and you know, all this particular stuff. But when it comes to this particular topic, everybody's so quick to bring out scriptures and all this and all that and see these people as disgusting, as immoral. And it's just like, who are you? Focus on yourself. Focus on yourself as a person. Please focus on yourself. You know, Ramla said, if the person's not my particular faith, my religion, the marriage will end. And everybody is attacking her. Everybody is attacking her for the common sense that she has provided. Regardless of someone being gay, etc. I'll still love my particular daughter or child or son. And everybody again came for her for no reason, because everybody came for her again, so therefore she can't love a child. She can't love it. You can't. What is going on? What is going on? People are again acting without thinking. They don't think pragmatically in their head, and then they just come forward with these actions. Now, we're going to get into something, you know, we're going to get into this whole Twitter scandal that's been going on between who is the gay guy on the show. Is it Max? We don't know. Who's speculating? Somebody exposed somebody on Twitter. I read all the tweets. You all told me. Thankful. But let me tell you what team I'm on when it comes to this whole problem. Let me tell you what team I am on. I am on team me. I am on team I don't expose people. I am on team mind your own business. I am on team turn a blind eye. I am team put the sugar in the tea and dissolve. That's the team I am on. I'm not entertaining any of this. If this is not directly related to the show or the debate and there's people talking around it, I will not be talking about it. The Riva new stuff I talked about was because it was actually on a platform, the BkCHAT Extra platform. That's when I spoke about it. This is stuff circulating outside of the show. None of my business. I'm turning a blind eye to it. I only review the show and the extra bits to an extent. I do not review what's going on between Max and somebody else behind closed doors. Like what's going on? Why do I need to be reviewing that? That makes me seem as a messy person. I'm reviewing a show. I'm not reviewing a show and what goes on people's lives. That's not what I'm doing. For my sense, whether he's done it or not, whatever, none of my business. I hate the most. Major sin is exposing somebody. That is a big sin. Whether if you know they're doing something bad or not. But exposing him, I felt sorry for him to that extent. But you can argue against that. Why are you frontline saying it's unnatural, saying it's wrong, but you did the same things before? You're going on a big show with a big audience, and you're doing this. It doesn't make any sense. So I can see from that point as well. But when it comes to this whole, you know, people are asking about it, my opinion, I do not have an opinion because it's relating to something outside of the BkCHAT entity to an extent which I'm not really interested in. I'm not on this team at all. I am on team me. Team focus on me, team focus on how I can be better for myself every single day. I create lists for myself and I tick them off to see how productive each day gets. That's the team that I am on. I'm not on team, is Max gay? Is he not? What's he doing behind the scenes? Who's he going down on? No, none of my business. End of the day, whether it's true or not, none of my business. And it also is defamation of character to an extent as well. So people need to be careful. So I add my 20 cents to that topic because you guys did ask me. This review is going to be quite long, obviously because of the long episode and a lot happened. Let me know what you guys think about this particular review. Overall, as Riya has shown for me, Adrian got attacked again, Ramla got attacked again for no reason. Esther made no sense at all. I feel like more of an input by Riva and Luke, and by Riva was definitely more needed. Benjamin, happy to stick to your guns. Nessa, yeah, I'm happy for you as well. Max, very ignorant and rude, but he stuck to his opinions at the same time. So, you know, hats off to him in that extent. This was a very tense episode, a very tense review. You can tell I'm burning, like the chest is out, everything's out like child. It's just mad. Nothing made any more sense. Let me know what you guys think in the comment box below. Apologies for the way this is looking. It's just mad. Like, I've had family emergencies today, so it's just been crazy. Hit me up on my Instagram, my Twitter, my website, and subscribe if you guys want to. Please let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you guys soon.